Before we get started, a quick reminder. Unlocked is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please consult a qualified healthcare provider for any health concerns. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and give a thumbs up, and share across all platforms. Unlocked, mental performance, physical results.
Steps up to the plate, feeling the weight. The crowd's cheering loud, but it's up to fate. Struck out too many times, doubts creeping in, but he knows in his heart it's time to begin.
Welcome back to Unlocked Mental Performance, Physical Results. I'm Coach Eric, and today we're going to dive into a tricky but crucial topic: the mental game of playing hurt. Now, I know what you're thinking. Coach, are you really going to sit here and tell players they need to play when they're hurt? Well, we have to be honest with ourselves. Every athlete at some point faces discomfort. They face physical discomfort. They face mental discomfort. They are challenged as they wear out their body and mind performing the sports, performing the athletic event. And let's be honest here. It's not just about performing sports. They might have a job after school. They might have tripped going up a ladder at home. They're doing schoolwork. They've got family pressures. There's a lot of things that weigh on an athlete besides just the physical exertion of their sport. So yes, every athlete at some point feels discomfort. But navigating that line between pushing through and potentially causing serious harm is not only a physical challenge, it's also a mental one. So let's break this down. Let's dive into it. Because you have to be able to tell the difference between being hurt and the other things that could be causing you these problems. And I can tell you, today, Coach Eric, he's playing hurt. Well, is it physical hurt? A little bit. I hurt my shoulder carrying building supplies. Is it mental hurt? Absolutely. I was supposed to record this episode 3 or 4 days ago, and I couldn't get my head around it. I just couldn't get there. It's sensitive. It's one of those topics that you don't want to talk about because you don't want to sound like the bad guy. And so I sat down 2 days in a row with this topic outlined in front of me. And I was like, I'm just not there. I'm just not there. But I have to get there. If I don't get there, this episode won't happen. And if this episode doesn't happen, I either have to give up and skip it, which leaves a hole in the catalog of episodes I want to do for you guys, or I have to give up on doing podcasts, because if I can't do a topic I know is important, how do I keep going and justify doing any other topics? It can't just be the easy ones. No, I don't have my A game today, but we're going to do this because I think it is important. The first thing you have to do is you have to identify, are you hurt or are you injured? I mean, this is the big one. Right off the bat, you've got to differentiate. There's a big difference between playing uncomfortable and playing with a legitimate physical ailment that you can make worse. I mean, we've all heard it, right? You come back into the dugout, you come over to the bench, you're kind of limping, you're not feeling it. Coach is like, hey, are you hurt or are you injured? Well, in that moment, I promise you think you're hurt, not injured, because you don't want to sit down. You're an athlete. So what you have to do is you have to think about the pain. You have to think about the discomfort. Does it significantly limit your movement? Does it significantly alter your function? Maybe you've got muscle soreness because you lifted too hard this week. You ran too much this week. You've pitched too much this week. You've got this minor tweak or a nagging ache. You've got muscle fatigue. Your grip strength's not there. You're just not right. But you don't have any tears. You didn't roll your ankle. You just went too hard this week. Maybe you went up for a rebound and you caught an elbow and it gave you a Charlie horse, and now you're just kind of gimping around a little bit. You need to rub it out. There's a big difference between that and having rolled your ankle, sprained a ligament, your ankle swelling up, and yeah, you can run on it with all this adrenaline, But that can cause additional issues, additional injuries, and additional problems. So how do you differentiate between those two things? Well, the first thing you have to do is identify the level of pain and identify whether or not it has a reduction in range of motion. Is it going to physically alter your ability to do things? And a lot of times, you know the difference. You do. You can look at it. I'm not talking about the obvious, you broke both bones in your forearm and now it's cockeyed. Yeah, you're injured. But I'm talking about, is that a deep bruise from getting hit by a pitch? Or did you break a bone in your hand? You know the difference. Hopefully. But are you going to try to play through it anyway? So first, you've got to be able to identify it. Then you have to talk to your coach, or if at all possible, ideally, a medical professional. Having a trainer on staff for high-level teams is critical because they then can take a look at the injury and decide whether or not it's an injury or a Charlie horse, whether it's a bruise or a break. There's a huge difference between a deep bruise and a fracture. And you need to be able to figure out which one it is that you have. And hopefully coaches, I'm talking to you here, coaches, are responsible enough to check their athlete. Don't believe your athlete. Athletes are liars. Athletes want to get back out there. Athletes want to win so bad, they'll risk their personal well-being to get back out there. So coaches, you've got to step in. And players, please don't fake that it's hurt instead of that it's injured. So you've got to identify injury versus hurt, because we can't go any further in this conversation if you're going to lie to yourself and say, just hurt. That's not a real fracture. What do you as the player feel that can give you clues as to whether or not it really is hurt or injured? Because I'm telling you, don't lie to me, but you're sitting there listening going, yeah, but how am I supposed to know? Well, injuries involve structural damage, and they're all different. A lot of times they're going to present as sharp, acute pain. They're going to have limited function, loss of function, limited flexibility, loss of flexibility. You're going to have swelling. It's going to feel unstable. You can't quite stand straight on it. It's going to catch. It's going to feel like you got a hook in your muscle. There's a lot of things that just don't feel right. And if you're experiencing that, step back, take a breath, and start focusing on acceptance. Start embracing patience. And please, please, please adhere to your recovery protocols. If you go to the orthopedic and they assign you physical therapy, do your physical therapy. That's not for fun. They don't print out that sheet and hand it to you for their well-being. They don't recommend that you go down to another office where a physical therapist will work with you for the doctor's well-being. I know some people think, they're just trying to make a buck off of me. No. They make lots of money off of very legitimate reasons to do things, including yours. That's why they wrote you a prescription for physical therapy. That's why they gave you a list of exercises to do. That's why they told you, yes, you can return to action in a limited capacity in 3 weeks, but no game time for 6, or maybe limited game time at 6, full game time at 12. They're staggering that for a reason. It's not because they don't like you. It's not a personal assault on you as a player. It's because they want you to heal. They want you to get better. And you, as the player dealing with the injury, need to embrace acceptance and patience and whatever has been assigned to you as part of your recovery, and check in with medical professionals. That's why they're called medical professionals. So if you're honest with yourself and you say, okay, is this pain something that's damaged or just uncomfortable? That's the first step in figuring out whether you're playing hurt or whether you're injured. The second thing I want to talk about is fatigue. A common overlap between hurt and not feeling right is fatigue. Fatigue can masquerade as hurt. It can feel like an injury. When you're exhausted, your body feels achy. It feels heavy. It mimics a lot of the same sensations that you get when you're hurt. Fatigue is a state of being physically and mentally exhausted. It's a tiredness resulting from lack of sleep, from exertion, from inadequate recovery. If you went really, really, really hard yesterday, today you might not be feeling it. It can come from not being properly hydrated, not having proper nutrition, not properly stretching and taking care of your body before and after competition. Are you warming up and cooling down? Those things can lead to soreness, general weakness, and feeling drained. That's the way I feel this week. I feel drained. I have mental exhaustion. I have physical discomfort. I'm drained. And so you have to identify that. Am I actually injured? No, I don't think I have a tear. I have no loss of flexibility. I have no loss of range. It just hurts a little. And I'm tired. And I'm not sleeping really well because I usually sleep on that side. I'm a side sleeper. And I've had a really, really busy and stressful week. And so my body is beat up. It's worn down. So I have to understand that with being wiped out comes mental challenges. I have to overcome the urge to stop. I had to do that with recording today. When your body feels heavy, when you're feeling your first reaction is usually to stop and curl up on the couch. But if what you need is mental endurance, well, hey, that's differentiating between I can't, I shouldn't, or I don't want to. So if you're so tired you can't do it, all right, can't do it. If you're so tired you shouldn't do it because it could result in injury, all right, shut it down. Fatigue can be so serious that you need to shut it down. But if you're like me today and what you want to do is curl up on the couch, but really there's no excuse for it, that's just being lazy, then you know what you got to do? You got to buckle down. You got to dig deep. You have to identify that there isn't an injury on the line here. I can do this. I'm good enough. I'm strong enough. I'm stubborn enough. I'm going for it. I'm going to give you my B game today because it's the best I can give you, but I'm going in both barrels. Remember, true hurt is usually more localized. It's a specific sensation. Fatigue? Nah, it tends to just be everywhere. Right now, my shoulders feel really heavy. My hips feel stiff. And that's just it's all over the place. But if it felt like I'd gotten stabbed in the shoulder, it'd be a pretty good indication that I tore something. And I need to be heading over to my good buddies at the orthopedic. Consider your recent training load. Consider your sleep patterns. Evaluate your overall energy levels. Is your issue localized pain, or do you just have a widespread heaviness or discomfort? When you figure that out, you know whether you're worn out, whether you're hurt, whether you're injured. Because fatigue loves to play tricks on you. And you have to be self-aware enough to know, and self-honest enough. Don't lie to yourself. That's a real common theme today. To be able to say, the issue isn't injury. The issue isn't even hurt. I'm just tired. I'm worn out. I did too much yesterday. And if that's the case, you got to go through your mental exercises and see if you can find the energy to get out there and get the job done. But of course, fatigue isn't the only thing that makes us feel heavy. Fatigue isn't the only thing that beats you down. No, It's not the only thing that holds you down. We talk about digging deep when what's really going on, and this might surprise you, but sometimes what's really going on, what really hurts, is actually a lack of confidence. It's a fear of failure. Oh, your mind can play tricks on you. Your mind controls where those sensations manifest. And when an athlete is insecure about their abilities, when they are worried about performance, when they're scared that an authority figure is judging them negatively on what they're doing, or a peer is looking down on them for their performance, they can become hyper aware of the most minute sensations in their body. And as such, they interpret them as significant pain or limitations. Because they're stressing about it, it's amplified. It's amplified. You've been there before. You're really upset about something, and something stupid happens, and all of a sudden you're in a rage. Now, you know that was a minor thing. It shouldn't have set you off like that, but you were already in a bad mood. And now you're seeing red. Now your blood pressure's up. Now you're sweating from your forehead. Now your voice, your tone, it's raised, it's mean, it's ugly. You've been there with frustrations and anger. But have you ever thought about the fact that you've been there for physical pain? When you're riding high, when your adrenaline's pumping, when you're winning, when you're playing great, and you get a little tweak, you might not even notice it. You fly right through that. But when you're feeling all that self-doubt, when you're feeling all that worry, the most minor discomfort can feel like a full-on fracture. It can. And I'll give you an example for me. It happened in my life. I guess it was probably the summer between 8th and 9th grade. And I hurt my ankle. I hurt it bad. And I stayed in and I played through it. And when I came out and the game is over, my ankle was so swollen in my cleats, I couldn't take them off. I couldn't get them untied. We had to cut the laces to get that shoe off my foot. And then I was out with injury. Now, when I first tweaked it, had I gone out and got it evaluated, I might have realized it was something that needed to be really looked at and saved myself the recovery time I had. Or maybe I'd have still been cleared to play on it and would have hurt it worse anyway. I'll never know because I didn't do it. I didn't do a self-evaluation. I didn't figure out if I was hurt or injured. I was determined to win that game, but it wasn't an important game. It wasn't critical to the rest of my life. But what was really unfortunate for me is that I missed time for an injury I didn't even realize I had. I mean, I knew I had tweaked a little bit, but I didn't think I was hurt. But the white lace-up splint came out. Lucky I didn't end up in a moon boot. And I was down for the count for a while. And I didn't know. I wasn't self-aware enough. I was young and dumb. But no one else looked either. And therein lies the problem. I was feeling really good, so I didn't even notice it. But I can tell you my shoulder right now hurts more because I'm worn out. It does. I'm not feeling it as, not having my A game. And so I notice every little thing with my shoulder today. I just do, because I'm not there. If I was, it'd be like my ankle. I'd just blow right through this thing. No big thing, right? Get the adrenaline pumping, not bothering me at all. Let's go. So if you're in a situation where every little thing feels like an injury, where no matter what you do, everything hurts. Every swing of the bat. Oh man, yeah, I think that hurt my back a little bit there. Take a step back. Evaluate. Are you really physically hurting? Or do you have an underlying confidence issue? And if what it is that deep down you really aren't feeling it, you really are scared of your performance, if you have so much anxiety that it's manifesting as a migraine, then it's time to whip out the toolbox. I'm talking about mental performance here, guys. You've got techniques. Hey, we've talked about breathing exercises. There's positive self-talk. There's visualization. In the moment, focus on the moment, and work on what is controllable, right? If you're focusing on your controllables and ignoring your uncontrollables, not pretending that they don't exist, just not focusing your energy on trying to fix them because they're uncontrollable. Put it where you have the most impact on your outcome. And what you'll find is that by focusing in on those things that are controllable, by visualizing the things you need to do, by telling yourself, you can do this today, you're going to increase the probability of success. There's no guarantees, right? There's never any guarantees. But if you use your mental performance tools, you're a lot more likely to feel that A game coming back instead of every single minor Charlie horse and tweaked hamstring and rolled ankle and sore back and headache. Because you're taking control with the part of your body, the brain, that takes control of the rest of your body. True hurt will usually have a consistent and reproducible physical manifestation, regardless of your mental state, regardless of the success of the last thing you did. So, if your hurt, if your pain fluctuates based on your performance, there's a good chance that that hurt has a lot more to do with how you feel about yourself than what you're actually physically feeling. So reflect on your recent performances. Think about your training. Are you genuinely feeling a consistent physical limitation? Or are you feeling really anxious and perhaps projecting that anxiety onto your physical sensations? Are you always hurting more when you fail? Then maybe the first step to healing is working on your mental game. But what if you're actually hurt? What if it actually aches? What if it's actually physical, but not an injury? You've identified yourself as hurt and decided, after talking to your coaches, after talking to the trainer, after seeing the ortho, that you know what, it is safe to play. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you're not going to do damage by playing. You're just not going to have a pain-free experience. Well, first thing you got to do, you got to shift your focus. You can't just dwell on the discomfort. If you're focused on how much your hand hurts, well, then you're going to know every little pain your hand has. So you need to focus on your task. You need to focus on your process. It's your technique. It's your role. It's the next play. It's not, oh, that hurts. You need to replace the negative thoughts about pain. Don't go, oh my God, I hope this doesn't hurt my hand. Oh, I hope it doesn't hurt me. Oh, I hope it, no. If you do that, now you're accepting that pain as being the dominant part of your being right now. No, what you need to say is, I can do this. I can handle it. My body is strong. I have played through worse. I've got it. You need to visualize. This is a place where visualization is so valuable, because you need to see yourself succeeding despite the pain and discomfort, despite the aches, despite the fatigue. You need to visualize yourself doing the tasks you're trying to do and doing them well. Let's be honest with ourselves. I've talked about honesty all throughout this episode. Let's be honest with ourselves. You have to acknowledge the pain without judgment. You have to acknowledge the pain without judgment. You have to acknowledge the pain without resistance. You cannot pretend like it's not there and think that it's not going to creep up on you and slap you in the face when you least want it to. You can't fight it. If you fight it, you're going to amplify the sensation because it's going to be at the forefront of your thoughts. You need to accept it as a temporary part of your experience, as a temporary part of your process, and then just set it aside and focus on the process. It's there. You know it's there. You know it's there. And you know you can play with it. You know you can play through it. You can play despite it. Use it as fuel. Play because of it. Go find the best you. See yourself doing it and knock it out. And be open and honest. There's that word again. Honesty. Be open and honest with your coaches. Be open and honest with the medical staff. Let them know how you're feeling. They can help you monitor the situation and they can help you make informed decisions. And please, coaches, please, parents, take it serious. Don't just assume because a player isn't laying on the ground flailing like there was a sniper in the stands. Don't assume because they aren't sobbing or crying that isn't a legitimate injury. Embrace your role as the keeper of your people and check that player and make the honest evaluation of their situation and keep their best interests at heart. Because being responsible, being a leader means making hard decisions, even for people who don't want you to. And if that player is hurt, sit them down if it is at all possible that is a real injury. If it is at all possible it's a real injury, you shut them down. You get them evaluated. You put them in front of a professional and let that professional decide that that's not an injury. I know you want to win. I know that player can help you win, but he can't help you win if he's shut down for 2 months with a real injury that could have been prevented if when he was just hurt, you took a moment to evaluate them and determine what was really going on. Whew. Boy, didn't like this episode. Hope you did, though. Hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helped you understand the difference between being hurt, between being injured, being fatigued, or having a lack of confidence, and how that can manifest itself as injury, as hurt, as fatigue. It requires a lot of self-awareness. It requires a lot of honest reflection. And if you want to play hurt, if you want to play uncomfortable, if you want to play through whatever pain is in front of you, it takes a really strong mental toolkit. And that's what we're here for. Unlocked is here to help you build that toolkit. So remember, your mental approach can significantly impact your ability to perform through discomfort, perform through fatigue, and most importantly, your ability, your mental strength, your mental toolkit can help you protect your long-term health. Thank you for tuning into Unlocked.
He steps up to the plate, feeling the weight. The crowd's cheering loud, but it's up to fate. Struck out too many times, doubts creeping in, but he knows in his heart it's time to begin. He remembers the lessons, the words that they say. Keep your head up high, don't let fear lead the way. Act, take a swing, let the baton talk. Chest high, walk the walk. Breathe in deep, let the pressure unlock. You are focused, ready to rock. Commit to the moment, let the past fade away. Get back in the game, you're ready to play. Sun shining bright, he's feeling the heat. With every deep breath, he's back on his feet. Visualizing success, he's got a new plan. With the tools from Play Big, he's a brand new man. He knows it's a journey, not just a quick fix. With patience and practice, he'll find his own mix. Act, take a swing, let the back of the talk. Chest high, walk the walk. Breathe in deep, let the pressure unlock. You are focused, ready to rock. Commit to the moment, crack's a lesson, every strike's a chance to rise up stronger, to take a new stance. With the crowd on his side, he's ready to show. With the ABCs in his heart, he's ready to go. Take a swing, let the back do the talk. Chest high, walk the walk. Breathe in deep, let the pressure unlock. You are focused, ready to rock. Commit to the moment, let the past fade away. Get back in the game, you're ready to play. So here's to the slumps, the struggles we face. With courage and commitment, we'll find our own place. Every new inning is a chance to rise. Chase the champion spirit to the skies. Every new inning is a chance to rise. Here's to the slumps. Here's to the struggle. We've got the tools, so here's to the work. Take a breath. You've got this. Go play.